Dr. Toni Cooper. She is a local psychologist and an author of some inspirational books. Good morning, Dr. Cooper. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing really, really well, but apparently I'm doing better than a lot of people. In coping with the pandemic crazies, there's a lot of very weird stuff going on out there, and a lot of people feeling completely freaked out and unable to just handle their day to day, and it's being acted out in some really weird and violent ways. Like there was this lady the other day, I forget what part of the country it was, but she was in a store, and this other lady had on her mask, and she had a cane because she was a cancer survivor, and she very politely asked the lady, "Could you please move back a little and put on the mask?" And the lady literally picked her up, threw her to the ground, broke her leg. Of course, that lady's in jail now.
Wow.
And that's an extreme case. But, I mean, there is this weirdness going on out there. What should we do about it? What can people do to kind of tamp that down and get a grip?
Well, I do have some suggestions on how to manage your own stress, and also some suggestions that might help in managing other people's intensity these days.
Okay, that sounds great.
Okay. So for yourself, let's start with yourself. It's always good to start taking care of yourself. Make sure you're getting enough sleep. Try to get exercise. And try to do some things for daily stress management. We talked about that last time, but for anybody that wasn't listening, you want to take some time every day, 15 to 20 minutes, to just chill. And by that, I don't mean hobbies necessarily, but sitting in nature, listening to quiet instrumental music, things that are going to help you ramp down from the intensity that's going on maybe in your home or in the world or in your life or around you. In terms of helping others, you may have noticed that a lot of people aren't making eye contact anymore. They look afraid or angry, and people are overwhelmed. They absolutely are overwhelmed. So some suggestions are for the people around you, don't invade their space, obviously, but you can say hello, you can thank people, you can point out what they're doing well, point out the positives. I always try to say something nice to the clerk because heaven knows they're getting all kinds of nasty comments all day that have nothing to do with them. Simple kindnesses like offering a stick of gum, a bottle of water. I'm noticing some businesses are doing that. Try to understand what's going on with other people that is driving some of the behavior that you don't like, especially if it's someone you live with or work with. Everybody's on overload. They might be afraid. Try to be a good listener. That usually calms people down. And make sure you phrase things in terms of a request rather than a demand. That also tends to keep things much smoother in relationships.
Right. And I was wondering, I've had some conversations, not many, but some conversations where I'm hearing like such a heightened level of stress and really serious weirdness that I'm scared, and I'm scared that they're going to do something really dangerous. And given that, where's the line? Like we were talking the other day about the 1-year anniversary of the shootings down in Dayton, and the governor talking about those red flag laws, which never, by the way, got passed. So how do you know when it's a red flag or whether it's just somebody kind of venting steam? Where's that line? And then once it gets passed, what do you do?
Okay, well, hopefully I have some ideas. I don't know if it's clear-cut all the time, but if someone is making specific threats, if you feel threatened, you can call the police and let the police decide whether this person needs to go to jail, needs to go to the hospital. If it's someone that you have a regular relationship with, you want to give them space, try to listen rather than argue. It doesn't do any good to argue with an angry person. You can try to talk with them after the stress is over. You want to choose your battles with people and not have unnecessary conflict. But sometimes we do need to say, this is not okay. and make it clear, I'm not comfortable with this. I can't continue this conversation. So it sort of varies on how well you know the person, whether if you're in a public place, you can, remove yourself from the situation most of the time. But it's not always clear-cut. But when there's specific threats against a person, when there's, I believe, still specific threats about property, you can contact the authorities and let them intervene.